There are people who have been waiting for 20 years for these invitations, and unfortunately they were not able to secure one. So if you are among the luckier ones who got the invitation, you should not shy away from doing everything to make it a successful application. My name is Sajjad Malik and I'm a business and immigration lawyer in Oakville, Ontario. The purpose of today's video is about the Canadian Parents and Grandparents Sponsorship Program and what are the basic mistakes in these applications. A few common mistakes which people make, that they sometimes do not choose the most updated versions of application forms, and they are relying on a friend or a contact who submitted such a sponsorship application 3 years back, and they tell them, all right, I have these forms available in my computer, I can email them, you just fill them out and submit. No, you have to take the most updated versions of files. Sometimes it happens in our practice that we are working on a file and it took a few weeks or months, and then just before submission, when we do our quality check, we realize that one form was changed. Sometimes the foreign national is abroad, we have to take the effort to take the pain to get it signed once again and upload it in the system. Second, you have to make sure you're also signing them. You're also dating them as well. I have seen applications in which whole of the application was returned because the form submitted was neither signed nor dated. So you have to make sure that you don't commit these mistakes. Now, aside from these mistakes, sometimes people forget to upload an evidence to show relationship, and they take it for granted that I have written in the application that this is my relationship and I have provided that information, so that is sufficient. No, it's not. You have to provide the evidence to the immigration authorities which would establish that you are bona fide related to them. And when there's a two-tier involved, that you are doing it for sponsoring your grandparents, so you have to make sure that this is done properly. Another common mistake which people make is that they do not correctly calculate the minimum necessary income based on their family size. There is certain income which you were earning, but from immigration point of view, from these parent sponsorship point of view, though that income would be excluded from being counted towards the MNI. So we have seen that it occurred, people believed that certain income was included and they reported that income as an MNI, and later on they got refusals based on that all right, sir, $70,000 you claimed, but your actual income is $65,000. $5,000 benefit is not actually an income which would contribute to this. So sometimes at a very thin margin, a few hundred or $1,000 less, and because you misunderstood when you proceeded with your application, it came up that you were ineligible under that MNI requirement. Another few mistakes which one can make, sometimes they are unable to establish the residency, they are unable to establish their citizenship, they go to some panel physician or a physician for medical who is not registered with the IRCC. So if you're not going to a panel physician and you get medical done, that's a common mistake, and then you may suffer because of that, and your medical won't be processed. There is always an option that if you are facing any issue or any challenge, you can always do a limited consultation with a lawyer. If you don't want a lawyer or law firm to be engaged in this for a whole application process, then you can go to a lawyer, a barrister and a solicitor who practices immigration law and schedule a legal consultation. You may have to pay an amount for that, but then it would be worth it. It is also possible that you complete your application on your own, and then before submitting it, you schedule a couple of hours with a lawyer to pick up if there are any mistakes. Remember, you don't have to mess up this invitation. This is a very precious invitation, and you should do your best to make it a success. Someone who is sponsoring his parents or grandparents, that person would be responsible to bear the expenses of parent or grandparent 20 years. So for 20 years, that person is responsible that he or she is taking care of all expenses of their parents, their maintenance, their day-to-day care, their dental. You sign that undertaking when you are submitting that application. If there's a co-signer, the co-signer also signs that application. Now, during this period, the 20 years after they become PRs, if any of the parents became a PR, claim social assistance, then you are still liable for this. If they claim that social assistance during this period, then the principal applicant is liable, and that principal applicant will be asked by the government to pay off the debts. Then later on, you cannot rely on another sibling or a brother or a sister who were there, who were not sponsors. You cannot shift the burden to them that, look, we are equally good children, so they can take up. You are still responsible and you are on the hook for this. And I would be very happy to schedule any consultation, or if you have any questions, you can post it on our website. You can send them directly to us and we'll be very happy to support you. My contact information is noted at the end of this video, and I'll be very happy to support anyone who wishes to engage a counsel, a lawyer, in representing his case before the immigration authorities. Thank you very much, and have a wonderful week ahead.